So, thank you for taking the time to listen to this video. I wanted to give you a brief overview of your Google Classroom page. We have been using Google Classroom for a couple of weeks now, and now that there are more assignments and different features that I've added to Google Classroom, I wanted to take a time to let you see all the features that are available to you. So, of course, the first thing you notice is I've already joined a sample class. This is my demo page, which shows the student view, which is what you normally will see. And that's how I'm going to be able to show you the ins and outs and everything. So, of course, on your left are your menu bars. So, of course, you have your main menu, which if you use these three bars, it hides it and just gives you the little icons, but you could just simply click on it and it'll return. Okay, of course, you have your home page. This is where you always go to start. So if you're in Google Classroom and you want to switch to another class, you could just simply, instead of Xing out of Google Classroom completely, you can just simply go to home and all the Google Classrooms that you have will be there. Of course, the next feature is your calendar page. And what this is a place where you can set dates or dates will be provided for you. So you can also access a calendar in your Google Apps toolbar, which is right here with the little dots put together. And in your Google Calendar, you can set it up for future dates or current dates or reoccurring dates. And if you ever want to know how to exactly do that, I can always share that information with you at a later time. So, next is the enrolled, which shows you all the Google Classrooms that you're currently enrolled in. And in that drop down menu, you have a to do list. And what this to do list is very important because it tells you exactly when things have been given and posted. And since this is the only class that is a part of my demo section, there are several assignments that I have posted and several activities I have posted. Now, I have not provided due dates for this, and the reason why is because the way that I have set up Google Classroom is once I provide due dates, they will actually automatically lock the assignment after the due date has been passed. So I don't want to provide a due date just yet for assignments because since we're working at different speeds and levels of completion, I don't want to assign a due date and then you won't be able to finish it. So I want to give you that open opportunity to finish assignments. Okay, next button on your left is the archive classes. Of course, these are the classes that you are no longer a part of, and they should be, out of your way of your current classes. And then, of course, the settings tool. Now, in your settings, the only thing we discussed before is to make sure that we remove the email notifications. So, of course, before you were getting all these little emails sent to your Gmail account, which of course causes you to have multiple emails, especially if you have multiple Google Classroom pages. So, of course, we toggled that to get rid of that. If yours did not happen, you did not fix this, please let me know and I'll show you that again once you have a device. All right. So also you do have the opportunity to add your own personal picture. It is not a requirement. Some people like to put their own personal picture on there. And of course, it'd be something hopefully will be appropriate. Like for instance, for me, I like to use my Bitmoji, or I can use something like a personal picture that relates back to me to make me identifiable. That's perfect, but that's not really something that you need to worry about if you don't feel it. It's not a priority. And of course, don't change your name in in your Google Classroom. So I would leave that part alone. All right. So going back to the home, which is always like base, you're going to click on your Google Classroom page. All right. So you have three sections. You have the stream, the classwork, and the people. And over here is your Google Calendar and your Class Drive folder. Now, what this is where you may easily find your information. So if you click on that, it will definitely take you to your Google Classroom page for this class and show where certain assignments are. Of course, that's not necessarily a priority right this moment, so you don't need to worry about that. All right. So, under your stream, I've kept it very simple. The only things I want to put in stream are announcements. This is not the place to look to find your assignments. We'll talk about that in just a moment. All right. Now, if I did give due dates, they would show up in your upcoming section. And then when you do that, you can click on that and it will show everything that would be due at that moment. And of course, it's divided into sections such as assigned, missing, and done. You can also toggle between classes if you need to. So, going back to the stream section, I always like to put on announcements of different things, such as whether I post something, a new material, or whether I post a new assignment. And I also like to give you a Monday greeting because that tells you a lot of information that's coming up. Now, to be honest, some of it is repetitive, but sometimes repetition leads to completion. All right, so let's go into the classwork tab. And the classwork tab is broken up into sections. And I thought it would be easier to find everything in that way. So, of course, the first section is Google Assignments. This is where I'm going to put anything such as a Google form, a Google Doc, or anything that you would have to complete using Google. Math review, this is where all our math assignments will be. And right now we have order of operations. Mathematic drills. These are drills to kind of reinforce those basic skills that we need to have. So, such as your division drill, your multiplication drill. I will be adding some more drills pretty soon. Okay, poetry time. I don't like waiting until the third or fourth 9 weeks to talk about poetry. I want you to get in the habit of writing poetry as we go along throughout the school year so that by the time we get to talk about poetry a little deeper, you're not feeling too overwhelmed by it. The next section is called survey time. And what this is just to give you an opportunity to express your thoughts on certain subjects. So, right now, I have three surveys, and soon I'll be adding a few more to them, such as a report card reflection once we get our first report card. Now, the next two sections, you'll notice that the color has changed from this pink to the gray. And what that means is anything that is in the pink will definitely mean that it is something that you would need to complete. When it's gray, it's not something you need to complete because usually this is notes or this is something that I feel like would be very important for you to have as a reference. So for the Google Slide Notes, of course, this is all the Google Slide Notes that we have talked about this 9 weeks so far, and I will be adding throughout. And you will have access through that for the rest of the school year. I do not delete these. And also in the Miss Hutchinson's Help Center, this is a place where I put helpful hints and videos that go along with things that go on in the classroom, or it might be something that I think is very important that you should know. So, and then of course, the last section is the people section, which talks about all the people who are in the class. I'm not sure why that's an important to you. I guess only if you had access to have correspondence with each other sit through Google Classroom, but I decided that was not going to work because some people who of previous years took advantage of that and it made it bad on other people who were trying to do the right thing. So we don't bother with that section and you don't need to bother with it either. So, whenever you have independent study session, all you will need to do is make sure that there are no assignments that have the pink in it. Once you complete it and you click turn in, please make sure you do that because then that way I can check over it. So, say for instance, you were doing this assignment, opposite vocabulary. You would click on it and you would view instructions. After you've completed the assignment, make sure you click mark as done. If you do not click mark as done, I will not be able to know if you finished it or you're going back to check over it. This is very important. Of course, please do not click mark as done until you finish the assignment. Okay, this section here, add a comment. This is very important as well to make sure that if you do have a question, please write down your thought or your comment. But if I don't immediately check back, please, please, please send me an email because I do not check Google Classroom daily. I check it every couple of days because if I check it daily, I might not see a lot of things. But if I check it every couple of days, I might see more things. Now, anytime I do provide an assignment, please make sure you do not have to share it again. So let me give you an example of that. So I gave this assignment, how to email a teacher. And if you, of course, you go to view the assignment and you notice that there's a part where there's a rubric. There's a video, which is always something I like to do when there's an assignment that I feel like needs to be more explanation to it. So to find your assignment, you need to go over here where it says your work. You do not have to create another assignment because it is already there. So please make sure that once you click on the assignment and you click turn in once you're done. Now, if you ever click on the assignment and turn it in and you realize there's some parts that you might need to fix or you might want to add something to it, you need to let me know because once you turn it into me, you cannot make changes. So make sure that you are in constant contact with me as far as the completion of the assignment. So once you complete the assignment and you turn it in, it belongs to me again and you can't share it back with I can't share it back with you until I finish grading it. All right. So that is the brief overview of Google Classroom. And of course, I will be providing brief videos throughout the year on different assignments and different activities. And if you ever want a video, just email me and I can easily create one or I can find one that relates to what you are requesting. So please take time to look through Google Classroom, make sure you're completing assignments, ask questions when needed, and I will talk to you soon.